How is it going, everybody? How are you all doing? Today's video, I wanted to go and talk about a solo of Rey versus the Sith Eternal Emperor. So we already know that Kylo can do this, and he can actually do it a bit better than Rey, like a long distance apart, like a lot better than Rey, like many multitudes better than Rey, because of the fact alone that he can kind of solo that team regardless of what the comp is. Rey's solo is a bit more niche. You have to have some certain characters in that for the Emperor's team for Rey to actually solo it. But it can be doable. I want to share with you guys today the Rey soloing the Emperor and what it kind of looks like. So I want to go first and foremost into the Rey's modding, and this is from a friend of mine named Blade Baka. Yet again, Blade is on top of stuff as always. He knows what's up. I mean, it's plain simple. Blade knows what's up. So this is his Rey. It's all maxed out as you know, you'd see a Rey, I guess, at this type of level. He's like 6.8 GP, 6.8 million GP. He is rocking full HP sets here on his Rey, which I do think is probably the best way to use her offensively. I know we've seen her being used on offense before and using an offense-based set, but I do feel like the more HP you have on her on the offense, the better it is, because not only in solos is it so good because of her lifeblood, but if you can get her health that high, her lifeblood can be translated over to her teammates and to everybody else. It's going to be crazy how much protection they'll be getting from that max HP bonuses. I use this actually, just quickly before we go into the actual showcase of the solo, I actually use a Rey solo versus many different teams in 3v3, 5v5, and I actually prefer her on offense more than Kylo at the moment, just because Kylo is a bit harder on the defensive side of things rather than Rey is. There are so many counters to Rey right now. There is, you know, you got of course, the JKR gas one, the one that's been around for a while. You got the Vader ones, and you have some more new ones coming along, like that Major Tom one with the resistance and stuff like that. But I do like Rey modded for health because of that lifeblood bonuses, and you'll see in this video how crucial the HP set here is with all that HP. I mean, Blade is rocking 246,000 health. Everything here on the set is health based on the primaries when you can get primary based on health. And he's trying to squeeze in even more speed. Holy cow. Holy cow, that mod, Blade. Yikes, dude. That's a crazy awesome mod. But you always want to stack in some HP sets and as much health as possible. So this is a solo. In really any other situations you want to solo, or with a Rey rather, versus any teams. Like even an example is Grievous. You want to be rocking full HP so you can maximize the lifeblood bonuses, keeping up her health and keeping up her Inspire as long as possible so that you can keep the mastery stacking bonuses further, so you get more mastery stacking whenever they gain TM. So now we will see how this kind of works. So it really works based off what we just mentioned, just barely, is the mastery and the Inspire. So she actually gains mastery. I think it's actually on her leadership. I forget which ones it is, but she does gain mastery. It says right here, yeah, whenever an enemy gains bonus turn meter, inspired light side allies gain 5% mastery stacking until the end of the encounter. So you have to have the Inspire on her, and she gets it at the start of her turns. So while she's inspired, and while in this counter we'll be seeing there's a lot of TM gaining on the enemy team, she'll be getting a lot more mastery, making her pretty much not only a tank, but she can be dealing a massive amounts of damage on her basics, her whirlwinds, and her ultimate. So now, with all being said, we know you want to mod her for the HP, you want to mod her for just as much as you can, making sure that the lifeblood really is working out for your benefit, and then keeping in mind that you have to play it right with what you're using. So now, let's go into the battle from Blade. So this is his solo. We only have one to show you today, so I want to kind of go into it a little bit and really talk about it. So this one, like I said, this is one you kind of need to have this Wat Tambor in here with the weapon tech, because if there was no Wat Tambor in here, it's probably not going to work. But the fact alone that you can still beat it while there is an Emperor, I mean, the Emperor is he's still annoying, guys. He is still very annoying. It is very cool to see. I mean, even without Wat Tambor and without the weapon tech, you can still get a lot of extra mastery stacking from the Inspire, and whenever they get the TM, and just fueling her mastery bonuses, the HP, all the stats pretty much, everything that she has built in with her mastery. And it's very nice. Is it going to be doable without Wat? I don't know, because that extra TM gain really does help out a ton. But basically all we're doing here is pretty much just whirlwinding off everybody else until it's just down to the Emperor. And And now you get the ultimate off. I guess you will in a second. You want to kind of wait because the damage mini was still in effect, but now you use it. You're going to keep some of these inspires, and you're going to be just fine. You're going to be good to go. So now we'll see the first ultimate. Okay, 110k. That's actually a lot of damage for the ultimate. Keeping in mind that there's a lot of TM gaining on the field. But yeah, this is still pretty cool to see. The fact alone that Rey can solo these characters and these teams is really, really beyond me. I would never, like, you asked me, like, when Rey was, like, first out, like, the first few months, if Rey was going to be one of my favorite, or if not my favorite GLs in the game, I would be just, there's no way, man. There's no way. I wouldn't believe you. But now I'm telling you guys, I really do believe that Rey is one of the most fun characters to use on offense at the moment. And actually, it benefits you more than anything because you can keep those other GLs on defense if you have enough GLs. Like if you have double GL with Rey and Kylo, keep Rey for offense, use Kylo defensively, and you're super set. You're super just chilling. You're golden. And it is very important in this day and age to make sure that you can counter these teams and making sure that you can maximize your banners for one. And there you go, boom, boom, boom. We're gonna play this one more time, but you want to maximize your banners for one, but also keeping a very strong defensive team for two. And if you can keep those two in mind in GACs and TWs, you are so good. So GACs, we'll talk about this to wrap up the video, I guess. It's not that long of a video. I just want to show you the solo. And talk about Rey solos a little bit of why I like him a lot more on offense rather than Kylo's. I use him versus pretty much any TM-based team in the game for a solo. I mean, this is the same thing with a Kylo, right? But the biggest reason why I don't like Kylo as to Rey for soloing is because Kylo's just a better team. I mean, there's a lot of different teams with Kylo on GAC for defense that really, really do hurt and stop some counters. You know, you got a Malak in there stopping a TM for the Sith. Kind of stops the Vader counter, and then you have the Night Sisters that do a really great job at stopping the JKL counters as well. So like, what are you left with in those counters? Well, it could be either a mirror match, it could be a JKL, but it's a bit more RNG based, and you could use another Rey if you wanted to, or if you wanted to, you could possibly get around with using gas, but that might be a two-shot. Because of the extra, you know, the assist and all those turns happening before the 501st can go. So just think about it that way rather than the Rey and defense. I do feel like the Kylo is a bit better on defense at the moment. Rey is not. There's a bit more counters to Rey, and kind of just wanting to mitigate those counters, putting Kylo in on defense, and then keeping Rey for offense. You pretty much can obtain and do the same exact stuff as you can with Kylo, with Rey that you can. So that's my whole reasoning behind I like the Rey solo a bit more. And it's not that hard to mod, really. I mean, you just put a bunch of HP sets on her. She gives out a lot more lifeblood to herself for her protection. It's because it's based off of her max health, right? And especially with her characters and her allies, if you want to use her with like another person. I like to use her with Zalbar at times because maybe sometimes the people I'm fighting, their teams are a bit more tanky, they're a bit more hard hitting. I want to bring in a Zalbar so he can absorb some more damage, and he gets that lifeblood as well. So it's a pretty good character, guys. I still do believe I did a ranking recently with my all the GLs in the game with how I feel about where they are in the listing of everything, and I do still feel like Rey is probably one of the best. It's really between her and also Kylo with how I'm feeling about them right now. I guess, like I said, I don't want to go too much about the rankings, but I mean, you could definitely have an argument for Kylo being better than Rey. But at the moment, I've just been liking Rey a lot more than Kylo with my offenses and defenses even. I mean, I've been still setting Kylo on defense, and he's doing so much good for me at the moment. Rey just has so much more opportunities and versatility, I guess you could say, with your offenses, keeping more for defense if you wanted to. And the biggest thing here is that she's for all light sides, so you can have so much flexibility for your offenses if you wanted to. But guys, I mean, that's a solo for today. Just pretty much how it goes. The TM gaining from the enemies while you have Inspire fuels your mastery stats, and you can just kind of whirlwind off all the sides until it is just the Emperor left, and he just dies to the ultimate pretty much. I think we did like a 260k damage hit to him for the ultimate, and he's dead. So that is it for today. If you guys enjoyed today's video, give it a like, share it around, and sub to the channel if you guys would like to. Please do. Besides that, we got a Discord, Patreon, and channel memberships all down below in the description of the video. Go check it out, guys. That is it for me today. Thank you for watching, and until next time, I will see you all later. Peace out and have a good one.